Hi everyone, so welcome to my first live video. I'm talking to you today about how to mix your own black using acrylic paint, but this would also be applicable to oil paints or gouache. The reason I think all artists should be able to mix their own black is that tube black, or the black that you get in tubes, is often quite harsh, a little bit too harsh for what we need it for. You know, when we're painting landscapes or portraits, or unless it's basically a really strong monochromatic abstract painting, I don't believe we need tube black, and we should be using our own mixed black instead. When we look out into the world around us, we very rarely see pure black. What we tend to see is, you know, really dark greens, really dark purples, and really dark greys, essentially. And that's the other thing with mixing your own black. If you know how to make your own black, you can also mix your own greys as well. And again, you know, and that's really important for portraiture and landscapes. There's no just one grey, there's no just one black. We get all sorts of different blacks, all sorts of different shades of grey. And you won't be able to access those if you're using just tube grey, or it'll be a lot harder to do it anyway. So it's important to mix your own black, and it's super easy. So that's what I'm going to show you today. So I've got my artist palette, and you only need 3 colours for black. I've got an ultramarine blue, I've got a cadmium red, or a vermilion red would work okay as well. And then I've got a cadmium yellow as well. So it needs to be a sort of orange yellow. Lemon yellow would not work, so cadmium's the best. And before we make black, we need to start by mixing brown. So I'm going to take a blob of blue, ultramarine blue, the same size of red, and the same size of yellow. I'm going to mix that together. What we should get is a really rich, beautiful chocolate brown, like sort of melted dark chocolate. Just going to add in a little bit more yellow there. Okay, and then I'm going to put that on the page. I'm just going to blend that across so you could maybe see the colour. And looking at that, it actually looks quite purpley. And purple is made out of red and blue. So to counterbalance that, I'm going to add in a little bit more yellow. And that should hopefully bring us back to a more pure brown. Okay, I'm happy with that. That's more of a proper brown, more of a chocolate brown. So once you've got your brown colour, and this is a beautiful, really useful colour to have anyway, to make your black, you're just going to add an extra blob of blue. That's my ultramarine blue. It's such a beautiful colour to make, really rich, really dark. Okay, so let's see how I've got on with that. So that's my first draft black, if you will. And I'm just going to shade that across. And I'm actually pretty happy with that. It's maybe a touch too blue. As I'm looking at that, it's looking too much a bit like blue. So to counteract that, I'm going to add a hint more red and a hint more yellow. I mean, that, for any landscape purposes, for any portrait purposes, that is a fine black. You don't need to go any more black than that. What I find is if you use tube black, is that it sucks the energy out of all the other colours, and it stands out because it's so super black. That is perfectly dark enough for any of your sort of representational painting needs. And that's essentially how you do it. It's super easy, but you know, you don't have to stop there. You can make loads of different shades of black. So if I added, for example, a bit more red, I would get a more browny or purple black, which is slightly different again. If I added a bit more yellow, I would get one of my favourite blacks, which is like a really dark green black, which is just super useful for landscape paintings, shadows under trees, things like that. Okay, so that's how you do it, and you can mix your own black by adding varieties of blue, red and yellow. Going on to greens, it's also super easy. You just bring a bit of titanium white in. So I've still got that beautiful green black on my brush. If I add a bit of white to that, you can see I'm getting loads of really nice greeny greys. And that's perfect for, like I said, trees, grass, or anything like that. If I go back to my reddy brown and add white to that, I get lots of purpley greys, which is beautiful for portrait painting or rocks, for doing like mountainous rocky landscapes. If I take my original purer black, my sort of neutral black, then I will get my more sort of neutral greys, or pure greys, you might want to say, which is, well, useful for any number of things. So you can really just carry on playing with this to get all sorts of different blacks and greys, which is super useful for shading, adding depth and distance to your piece. So that's more of a greeny black that I've made by putting in a bit more yellow in. And then, of course, I can get lots of different greeny, grey shades, going from dark to super light. So I'd recommend you all to have a practice with that. It's really easy, and you get these really beautiful, much more realistic blacks and greys than you would from a tube. It also helps you develop your understanding of colour theory generally. And all you need is ultramarine, cadmium red or vermilion red, and cadmium yellow. And for the greys, a bit of white, which is simple enough. Okay, so that's it for my little live video. I hope you enjoyed that. If you'd like more of these live videos, I'm going to be doing lots more. If you want access to them, if you want to hear about them before they happen, then please register for my monthly newsletter. It's free, and you'll get other tips and tricks in there as well about direct from art school. If you want more art school content like lessons and classes, creative briefs, creative support sheets, things which have come directly from British Art School, then you can sign up to my full subscription, which is, at the minute, I've got a special offer on, and it's just £10 a month at the minute, normally £25. But you'd have to hurry up with that because there is only 9 coupons left. But go to my website, which is artschoolbysubscription.com, or just send me a quick message on here and I'll get back to you. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that. See you again. Bye.